Nothing.
Oh, he's listening to K.
Are you doing it again?
What?
Are you listening to a game while we're having a meeting? This is the second time that I've had to do a cold open about you not listening.
National tournament, and it started last night and it's going today. And there's two teams I want to watch this morning. So
You're at work.
Well, yeah, I can listen to that one ear and listen to this ear.
Now look, I may be watching Knots Landing on my phone, but that's different.
That's different.
Every day.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. Every day. We do it our own way. Sing it out every day. Yeah, let's make it a good day. Every day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Now, here's Jason.
The show. Thank you, guys. Thank you. The audience is excited today because A, they're indoors. B, there's a hot nurse here. That's right. And they heard yesterday I said they're going to get free crap today.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And what is it? I'll tell you later. Coming up a little bit. First up, though, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, whenever you're watching us. First up, most of us know Groundhog Day is Sunday. Did you remember that, Aaron? It's Sunday. And one group has a new suggestion to replace Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh.
No. Thank you. Our good friends at PETA is suggesting, I know, and let me tell you, I'm going to get an email, believe me, from them. Yeah. PETA is suggesting that the happy critter is replaced by a weather reveal cake.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, boo, no.
Yeah. You know, like those gender reveal cakes, but this would predict either an early spring or 6 more weeks of winter. The animal rights group wants Phil to retire permanently in Boca at an animal sanctuary. I added the Boca part. I don't think there is one. Yeah. But I'm sorry, PETA. Don't expect that to happen anytime soon. It's not going to happen. No. Friends, she sees her shadow every day. Give it up for Fallon, everybody. Oh, friend. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You know what's going to happen now? I love that monologue story, but this is no joke. This is what's going to happen, and I've said this once, and I'm gonna make it worse right here. What's going to happen is, by the time this show is over, I'm going to get an email from PETA. I'm not kidding. They have a service. All big organizations do, but they have a service which tracks mentions of them.
Okay.
And I have gotten personalized emails from PETA when I've made an animal joke that they haven't liked.
Oh, okay.
Or I've and believe me, what's funny is, coming from me, I'm an animal lover. I love animals, and any joke I've made has been tepid at best. But I will get an email, "Dear Mr. Matheson,
Tisk, tisk.
Tisk, tisk, you may want to rethink that joke." So I know I'm going to get a 4-paragraph email about that. Anyway, I really?
I think we should have reveal cakes on this show, mostly because I want cake all the time. But I do think that could be an option we have. And
a reveal cake?
Yeah, I don't know what we would reveal necessarily. But,
will producer Bjorn shave his mustache? You know what I mean? Will
yes.
That's the big question around here. It's still growing, but
yes.
No. I think, look, I love animals. I don't think the good people of Pennsylvania would put that little rodent through a horrible situation. I think the rodent is. I bet that rodent is better taken care of than most people.
Guaranteed,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yes.
I bet he's living in better conditions than most people. I would imagine.
Yeah.
He's probably living better than I did in my studio apartment when I moved here in '97.
1,000%, yes.
Did you have a crappy first apartment?
Let me think. Well, I mean, I started off in the dorms. That was like the first place I moved outside of, you know, my home. And oh yeah, I've had some definitely like questionable ones where like it's like an old house split into multiple apartments. So the bills were astronomical, you know, because the insulation is non-existent in an old house.
Yes.
And we couldn't afford it, so we had to keep it cold. I've had lots of, yeah, sketchy situations. Or just roommates that didn't pay the bills, you know, those things.
Yeah. I when I first moved here, I lived in a building above a coffee shop, and I had a young guy. Well, I was young too. I was 22. I had a guy that lived next door to me, and this guy was like really attractive, and he was in his 20s. So you know where I'm going with this. Our doors were across from each other. Every night, or most nights, I would come home and I would hear activity happening in that. I would hear activity happening in his little studio apartment, and sometimes we would come out of the door at the same time, and he would just give me this look of like, yeah. I'm like, I ran into him like 5 years ago, and now he's much older, and I just looked at him like, dude, you were like busy in your 20s, and I never went through that phase. Nobody wanted nobody wanted to go out with me. I didn't have that much. We talked about that today in the meeting.
Yes.
Nobody hit on me. Nobody,
Me either, really. But I had a coworker say, well, if you didn't stand like this all the time, maybe people would approach you. I'm like, I'm good with it.
I'm good, yeah. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo. Let's go. Let's do this. Woo. First up, the wait is almost over. It's time to check in once again to the White Lotus. We're getting a new look at the full trailer for season 3 of the mega hit on HBO. This time, it's set in Thailand. Let's look.
Everyone tells me what a great man you are.
What if we lost everything?
Honestly, I don't know if I'd want to live. I just don't have it in me.
We're still the same people we were in the 10th grade.
You're always disappointed.
And you're always fake, and you're vain and selfish.
What if this life is just a test to see if we can become better people? No. What? Someone once said, the secret to life is knowing when to stop. Go big or go home, right?
In a body bag.
Yep. So one of my faves, Parker Posey, Carrie Coon, and Walter Coggins lead the cast this year, which looks at death and Eastern religion, because that's every season has a theme umbrella over it. It premieres next month on HBO.
I love White Lotus.
I love White Lotus.
I look forward to it. I'm so excited that we're not waiting as long between seasons. It's still a long wait, but I love it.
Look, and I know it's a drama, but I was thinking about this as a guy that loves hotels. Wouldn't you, out there in the audience, wouldn't you start to look at the Google reviews? Because every year there's a death at the White Lotus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it kind of tank their stock price a little bit?
I'm sure they bury that review, so you can't. No pun intended.
No pun intended, yeah. But every year there just happens to be a death at a White Lotus property. If that happened at the old, I mean, I'm sure it does, but yeah. You would still go? Thank you, Tony.
Great, yeah.
Some audience members would still go. Next up, Single and Ready to Mingle. Netflix is giving us the lowdown on the 32 singles from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area ready to find love on the upcoming season of the hit Love is Blind. Let's see what the singles are looking for.
What I am looking for in my perfect partner is somebody who's fun and always down to try something new.
I am looking for someone that I can show my whole authentic self to.
Someone to build a family with and someone to grow close with and hopefully grow old with.
Someone that matches me in a way that we like to go out and do fun things.
I'm definitely looking for someone who's goofy, number one, first and foremost.
I call it like the grocery store test. Who's going to be fun to go to the grocery store with? Who's going to make that a fun experience?
I know that last guy.
Really?
I think he's a co-owner of a clothing store I go to. Anyway, the young people also shared some potential red flags about themselves. Watch.
One thing that I do that could get on my partner's nerves is sometimes I snore, and I can't help it, so please forgive me.
I'm not very good at putting my clothes away, so I'm a little messy.
I procrastinate like a lot with everything.
I am always running around, dancing, doing something energetic at all times.
I sing a lot of sentences. Do you want to go to Taco Bell? Do you want to go to Taco Bell? Like, I'm always singing for no reason.
I'm not even on the same team as she is, and I absolutely not. If you're singing sentences to me, no. I would have a sentence. I would have a song for you. divorce. Yeah.
I know someone in that clip. It was my coworker with my husband. So I've known that I was gonna know someone this whole time. So I'm excited to actually see him. But speaking of the singing thing, in bad roommate situations, my friend Jenny lived next to a couple, and they would sing to each other at night. Like, it wasn't even like a well-known song. It was like they would do a Broadway musical together to talk, and she was like, I can't even hear Survivor. I have to like turn it up so loud to not hear their musical.
I didn't know you lived next to Aaron Schwab.
Not me, Jenny. Jenny, yeah. I was like...
Audience coordinator Aaron Schwab, I call her the Bette Midler of the Twin Cities. If anyone's singing show tunes with her husband in the middle of the night, it's that woman right there. That's right, yeah. No.
Couldn't imagine. Could not imagine.
No. We're not allowed to point out which one. Do you know?
I don't think it matters.
Okay, can we say it was...
Sure, it was Ben.
Ben, the one that said he's energetic. He looks nice.
He does look nice. I personally don't know him very well because I didn't work with him. My husband did. So, yeah, he seems nice.
Aren't we all of us that live here? Because, again, if you're watching us from Detroit, our show is proudly based in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Aren't we just praying that no one makes us look bad? Please, Jesus.
I'm curious, too, because they always say, you know, it's so Minnesota nice. I'm wondering if it'll be, like, the least exciting season because everyone will just be too kind to each other.
I thought that, too.
It's possible. We'll see.
Season 8 premieres on Valentine's Day. More Dish when we come back. Back in a moment. It'll either be will look horrible or it'll be snooze fest. Welcome back, everybody. McDreamy of TikTok coming up. Welcome back. Martha Stewart is one of the most impersonated people on Saturday Night Live. Listen to this. 9 different cast members have taken her on over the years. I didn't even think, that's a lot. Anyway, but Martha herself has never hosted SNL, and she explained why on The Tonight Show. Listen to this.
Would you ever want to host Saturday Night Live one day?
I wanted to, and they asked me as I was coming out of Alderson, that camp that I was in for a while, and my parole officer wouldn't give me the time to do it. You know, it takes...
The camp, yeah.
I was allowed to be out of my house 8 hours a day.
The parole officer said no?
No, that...
He said, well, you're not allowed to leave.
His name and his number.
Yeah. But they wouldn't let you do... So, but Lauren called you and said, would you like to host?
Yeah. I'm so pissed. But
oh, my God.
Maybe someday.
No, you'd be fantastic
host.
host.
I would be amazing.
She would be amazing.
She could still do it.
She could still do it.
I only remember, maybe it's because it's the best, the only person I remember doing impersonations of her is Anna Gasteyer, right?
Yeah, there's been a couple others. I knew this. I was going to try to think. Yeah, Anna's probably the most famous.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
By the way, Martha says she actually loves the parodies on the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, good. I like that she has a sense of humor. The pre-recorded Anna Gasteyer, this one where she's nude, she's baking Thanksgiving, and she's Martha's nude. It was so good. By the way, Jimmy asked Martha about potentially being on the next season of The Traitors. She said only if Fallon does it with her. By the way, yeah, Martha's out promoting.
No, not me, Jimmy Fallon.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Fallon, not this Fallon. Yeah.
Like they usually have like C-list celebrities, not Z-list celebrities. No one. Who's this woman?
We'll be on the last season when they can't find anybody.
Yeah.
Martha's promoting her Super Bowl commercial for Uber Eats. She's doing that commercial with Charlie XCX. Listen to what she said about filming it. Listen to this.
I got to wear a pair of her sunglasses.
Oh,
she has a whole box of fancy big sunglasses, and I got to pick my own.
Did she say that you were a brat?
Of course. That's why I was there, because I am a brat.
You are a brat. You're the OG brat, but also
I didn't really know who she was when I sat down there.
Well,
that's fair.
It's fair. And in all fairness, Martha said Charlie didn't know who she was either.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either.
Everyone knows who Martha Stewart is.
Again, part of the brilliance, and we talked about this when the documentary came out, part of the brilliance of Martha is the fact that she's cool again.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The fact that she snooped forward the roast of Bieber forward, the fact that Martha is beloved by multiple generations,
yes,
that is staying power. I mean, that's
for sure.
That's right there. That's what you want.
She would be so great on Traitors because she is just not a game player. I just can't see her being a good teammate. I can just see her.
Are you still watching The Traitors?
I am. I think I'm like up to date, maybe.
Are you liking it more?
I do like it more, yes. But I don't understand how they don't know some of the Traitors. It's so frustrating. Spoiler, Brittany, she's like the worst traitor ever, and I've only watched one season.
She's not a traitor.
Which one's Danielle?
Danielle, Danielle, yeah. You're scaring me. I'm like, are you watching the wrong season?
No, whatever. I get all their names confused.
Oh, Danielle.
She's horrible. Awful. She just keeps crying all the time. I'm like, that's who I would do the same. I would cry constantly, but she's awful. Oh, yeah. Worst traitor.
And Carolyn, I know the show's already taped, but you're being too quiet. You're giving yourself away. Be your Carolyn self. I'm afraid she is kind of giving herself away. More Dish Now. Call this a reality show no one is asking for. TLC is out with a teaser for a new show on Alec Baldwin, his wife, who claims to be Spanish, and their 7 kids. But they also take on the legal issues. Oh, my good. Watch.
7 children, 6 animals, 2 parents. A wild family. Why are we eating chocolate? Get off your phone. Okay.
Don't be in that pool.
Gross. What's the matter? Happy face. A son lost his mom in the most unthinkable tragedy. This is never something to forget, and we're trying to parent through it.
When the world is getting cold, know that I'm yours.
Honestly, from the bottom of my soul, I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have you and these kids.
I will leave you.
It's okay, just ignore him. We've had bad moments, but we found our foundation. She says you should look like this.
1989.
We're solid and we're here together.
I will lift you up.
February 23rd on TLC. I mentioned this. I talked about this on my radio show this morning. I know this isn't a popular opinion with some, but I like Alec. I've always been a fan. Go ahead and laugh. Since Knots Landing, he was on Knots, and I liked his movies. And no, I've been a fan. I haven't liked all of his personal behavior, but I like his work. I love 30 Rock. Having said all of that, as a fan, I don't want to see this. I think this is totally something that she wants.
Absolutely.
And he's kind of being drug along.
Yes. I feel like she's kind of wanted to be an influencer, etc. And yeah, it does not feel like something he needs to do. He's a big enough celebrity. And it's not even on like Netflix. It's on TLC. I'm like, it's like not even like a good network. I'm sorry, but I don't know. I also typically on reality shows, you don't end the reality show with people liking you more. It usually shows things, even with editing, where people like you a lot less, which I don't think he needs right now.
Also, you know, you know me. Your old pal Jace. I like kids on a case-by-case basis.
That's fair. Same, and I have one.
And you have one. But I'm not joking here. Haven't we lived through this with Kate plus 8? All these kids that have, the Duggars, that have come out the other side of reality shows really messed up. I just, any kid in these situations, I don't know in 10 years, are they going to be happy that their parents made them do this? And I can't believe I'm thinking about kids. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Fair, yeah.
It shows I have a little bit of a heart.
Yes.
Just a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
I love it. Tepid applause for the fact that I might have a heart. Yeah.
It's exciting.
Next, it's real exciting, yeah. Next up, Patti don't care. Patti don't care. This story cracks me up. When you're as accomplished as Patti LuPone, you can basically get away in the entertainment industry with just about anything. Patti, so here's the deal. Patti was a guest on Andy Cohen's radio show and dropped some news that no one knew about. And her companies probably didn't want her to talk about. Listen to this.
But I just finished 3 episodes of Palm Royale.
Oh, really? Great.
Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Oh, I did.
Are you?
I think Marvel's going to come after me for saying I was on Palm Royale.
Okay, so there's a couple jokes there. As you heard, Patti is joining the cast of the hit show on Apple TV, Palm Royale. Remember the Kristen Wiig show for season 2? Yeah. Okay, audience, that's not a big reveal. It kind of is, but then Patti then kind of spoiled the cliffhanger of that show from season 1. Now, that's when Ricky Martin's character was shot, leaving his fate up in the air. But listen to what Patti said.
Any Ricky Martin crossover for you?
Yes, I actually, we crossed over in the trailer, the makeup trailer.
Oh, okay.
He's the sweetest guy. I met him when he was doing Evita.
So. Ricky's alive, everyone. Okay,
maybe it's a flashback. Maybe, you never know.
It could be a flashback. I just love, I don't care. I love that Patti, as I said, just don't care. She'll say whatever she wants to say.
But also, maybe she didn't even watch the first season, so she doesn't even know that that was a spoiler. You know what I mean?
She doesn't watch her own stuff. She revealed she didn't watch, all the Marvel shows. Up next, when life imitates art, it happened to Reese Witherspoon. We all remember Reese as the law student on in Legally Blonde. Well, she was on the Graham Norton show in England. We love Graham Norton around here. This past weekend, and shared a story about what happened when Reese actually got picked for a real jury. Listen.
And then we went to deliberation. And so at the very end, they say, okay, well, somebody in this group has to be the foreman. And they all unanimously were like, her. Me. Yeah. And I was like, why did you pick me? And they were like, you went to law school. Y'all, this is really upsetting. I definitely did not go to law school. I didn't finish college. Like, I played a lawyer in a movie once, but they fully made me the foreman, and I started realizing people don't know much about the law.
I mean, true. I love that when we were talking about this story in our meeting, your observation had nothing to do about Reese, had nothing to do about the movie. Your observation was?
I feel like Graham Norton's lighting is harsh. Reese Witherspoon is stunning at all times, but I felt the light was so harsh. I was like, oh my gosh.
Graham Norton, it is, I don't know if it's a BBC studio thing. It is
fluorescent lighting. So necessary.
Oh, we spent extra money for Vaseline on our lenses here to make us look a little bit.
Yeah.
The new studio had extra lenses. I mean.
Have you ever done jury duty?
I did, and I really wanted to, it was like 2011. I did, and I really wanted to do it. I loved it, but I was dismissed in round 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got to do it, and it was she's right. I didn't know the law. It's weird. Like, you go into, if you've never done it before, you get the case, you go into a room, and then there's the law in front of you, and you're like, oh, because I would have based it on this, and it's not that. So it's actually really interesting. You learn a lot doing it.
That's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be right back. Back in a moment. It's not all trauma and drama. Coming up in just a little bit, Nurse Mikael will join us live. Who is he? Well, he is a TikTok sensation, showing you what the world of nursing is really like. You'll meet him when we come back. Welcome back. Don't forget to get tickets to our show, eventbrite.com. Search the Jason Show. Our guest today has been called the real-life McDreamy of the nursing world. On TikTok, Nurse Mikael gives his followers a glimpse into his life, both inside and outside of the hospital. Look.
If you're thinking about becoming a nurse, do it. Do it. You have job security. This is going to be a rant on how secure you are if you go into healthcare.
Mikael has been an ICU nurse for 3 years and loves to promote all of the positivity in the nursing field. Audience, give it up for the nurse, my friends.
Hey, thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Well, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Oh, my God. What? I always like to know the origin of why people do what they do.
Yeah.
What was it about nursing that spoke to you?
I love caring for people. Like, first and foremost, that's my biggest goal. But I have this core moment of when I was a kid. I was at a summer camp, and some girl was on a go-kart. We were driving crazy, so shouldn't have been driving like that. But she fell off, broke her wrist, and everyone was trying to help her, and I didn't know how to do that. And that was a moment of feeling powerless that I'm like, I don't ever want to feel that again. So that was the moment where I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go into nursing.
Did you, because I say this to the audience, I never wavered.
Yeah.
I always, like you, childhood moment, I knew what I wanted to do and stuck to it.
Yep.
And then when my friends vacillated between careers, I thought, you don't know what you want to do. Did that calling, did you ever vacillate from what you wanted to do?
Yeah, actually, I became a pilot before I was a nurse. I was flying.
Seriously?
Yeah, I was going to go fly for Delta, the whole thing, but it turns out I like people more than planes, and because it ran in my family. My dad flew planes.
How far did you get down the line to be a pilot?
I got my pilot's license.
Did you?
Yeah, private pilot's license, but not to the point where you can actually get paid for it. So, yeah, and then, unfortunately, it was an expensive hobby, but then I finally got to the point where I was like, I don't think I want to do this, and I stopped kind of right before I dumped a whole lot more money into it.
Did you know what area of nursing you wanted to get into, or were you pretty open and to exploring what side of it you wanted to do?
I had no clue. I had no medical background, nothing. I didn't know even, what medicine was, essentially.
Yeah.
But, so I started med-surg. I was that for a year, and then that actually almost made me quit nursing altogether, because med-surg was just too much. And if you're a nurse, there are different
What is it? I mean, explain it to us mere mortals.
It's crazy. Med-surg is crazy. That's what it is. It's just chaos all the time. And for me personally, I needed a little bit more structure in my day, in my shift. And so I decided, you know what, maybe this isn't right for me. So I chose a couple other things like home care. And then finally someone mentioned ICU. And I'm like, well, that sounds terrifying. Like coding people all the time, like that's sickest of the sick. And I just decided, you know what, let's just go for it. Why not? And that I've been doing for 3 years, and it was the right call.
With ICU, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, I got to tell you, not only because you're an online sensation, but truly, I wanted to have you on. We wanted to have you on because teachers, and I love nurses, and I love the medical field, and I think they, especially following COVID, you guys don't get the attention and the credit that you deserve for really just doing great work.
Thank you.
What is it? what was the first day like in the ICU for you?
Man.
Were you just scared out of your mind?
Absolutely. Yeah, imposter syndrome hit so hard. For a second, I'm like, I shouldn't be here. Why? I don't know what is happening. But I had great preceptors, great people teaching you. And I think that's also part of what I want to promote is this is a field of nursing in healthcare. It's a hard job, and if you don't have other nurses supporting you, when you're a new nurse, you will not survive. And so I was working with a ton of people who were very supportive in me, and when I didn't get something right, they were kind enough to let me know, but they let me know in a gentle way, in a way that didn't make me feel stupid, in a way that wanted me to do better. And so that's also something that I think is huge, and we need more of.
Going on what I said earlier, what do you think is an irritating misconception about nurses and nursing that you would like a platform to share, not just on your TikTok? What drives you a little crazy, like a misconception? Yeah.
A misconception that we can't organize, maybe. I think nurses maybe get a bad rap for just being all over the place. Or also just being lazy when we're at home. There's a reason we're making decisions left and right. For 12 hours, we have to be on the clock, just sharp. And so when we get home, yeah, we're gonna rot a little bit. We're not gonna do much. Yeah, laundry piles up, I will say that.
Yeah, and you're making, I gotta say, again, I can identify it a very less serious way. No, and unless Erin needs CPR in a few minutes, and I'm willing to give it to her, no one's counting on me, that's right.
Yeah.
Or I'll let the nurse do that.
I got you.
But my friend, I get it. I get it. When you get home, you've made 800 decisions.
Yes.
And even someone asking you, what would you like for dinner, makes you want to just crawl on the floor and cry.
Exactly. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I'm making ramen. Like, it's even deciding ingredients to put in. I'm like, that's too much. Too much. Yep.
Because people are coming at you all day.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did this man go from nursing to a TikTok sensation? We'll talk more when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. I hear you in a much different way.
Let's make it.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, we were just talking during the break. It's a great day for the booking. Bjorn did great because this is today the anniversary of your
TikTok.
Explain what
Today was the first day that I posted. Yeah, what was it? 2023 is when I posted my first TikTok that blew up, and then it just was from there.
Okay, so the origin, So we talked about the origin of you in the medical field.
Yeah.
What inspired you to take your love of nursing and your occupation and share that with an audience?
I think, well, I've definitely been, I never had TikTok until 2023. So actually I'm very much an introvert and never was in social media. But I would know of these people like Nurse John. He's very famous. He's one of those big TikTokers. So I knew of it and I was like, okay, how can I bring that? I wanted to merge, social media and nursing, and I felt like this was the best way. And also through comedy, I think that's how we survived too. And there would always be funny things that I'm like, this is kind of funny. I wasn't seeing anyone else make it, so I was like, I guess I'll make it. So
isn't that another thing when we were talking about misconceptions of the job? I always tell people, I was in news for years, and I always tell sometimes when people ask in the audience, I said, the things we laugh at in the business, because we are inundated with horrible things really all day long. It would shock people, but it is a release, and I'm sure it's very similar in your field.
Absolutely, and the amount of comments that I get from people who are going through the same thing, that is reaffirming, and it's like, oh, we're all in this together. Sometimes, the job is really, really hard, but at least we can all laugh about it together.
Are you watching The Pit?
No, I need to, though.
You need to watch The Pit!
I need to watch The Pit. I've seen clips of it, and I'm like, okay, they filmed in the hospital. This is real. Like,
okay, I want you to do me a favor. Because
I will.
I trust you. I want you to watch The Pit on Max. Okay, and then email Bjorn, and I want you to tell me if you think it's realistic.
Okay.
Because we haven't, BB? We have received 2, not in the middle.
Yeah.
We have emails from people, from nurses that say it's absolutely scarily accurate.
Okay.
And then yesterday we got 2 emails, because people are so sick of me talking about it, from nurses that said, come on now.
Really?
So will you please watch it? Okay.
I will.
Anyway,
promise.
back to you. What has the response to you on social, has that surprised you? What's that been like?
Very much, yeah, honestly. I was not expecting it. And I really do think it comes out of, I hope I post high quality content that actually deserves attention. And I think sometimes I do, and I think sometimes, it's just kind of hit or miss, and you just roll with the waves.
Are you, because again, I think if every influencer knew what to do all the time, everyone would do it. What do you find is the secret sauce for other than a thirst trap? I mean, other than, and I'll
Come
just
on
say,
now, they work though.
I'm just being honest, audience. It's just, and I will say,
Have you been scrolling?
I'll say our staff has not looked through any of them.
Sure.
I'm just, right, BB? None of them. Anyway, no. All kidding aside, what tends to do well other than thirst traps for you? And I say that in the best complimentary way.
And I do appreciate that. That was definitely how it started off, and then I started gearing more into, okay, let's talk about the profession.
Yes.
And I think that's where I really landed on, is I want to build a community of people, nurses, healthcare providers, everyone who can feel comfortable coming online, sharing their experiences, and kind of create this positive environment, because there is a lot of negativity too.
A lot.
And so I really just wanted to be like, hey, let's all laugh about it. We can share our trauma together and laugh, but more in discussion.
What is your mechanism? I just thought of this as you're saying that, because whether you do something like this, you put yourself out there. You do what you do, you put yourself out there. It is an era where everyone has a microphone via their phone.
Yeah.
What is your mechanism for dealing with trolls?
Oh, man. My mechanism for trolls.
Do you ignore it?
Don't.
I mean, because it's easy for friends to go, just ignore it, but you're human.
It's really easy to ignore it, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, there's not a ton of negativity that I've seen against my TikTok. So I mean, that's a good thing. Maybe I'm doing something right, or I need to be doing more, because I don't have enough haters. I don't know.
No, I think it's great. Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you want, before we have to go, is nursing something you want to do long time? Do you want to merge it with, because you're incredibly ugly, so you would never do modeling.
Never, no.
You would never go into modeling.
No, I don't think I'll make it. So.
No, you won't make it. No, but all kidding aside, do you want to merge the two?
I do. My dream has always been to be an actor in TV, film. I love all of that. And medical was just kind of the side way. So that's like the stable income. And now social media has given me the route to hopefully bigger things. And so that is the goal. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I choke, don't save me during this hour, and you can just have the damn show. Just wait till, there we go. Give it up, everybody. You can follow him on social media. And if you miss us, boom, there's the address. We'll put it on all of our Jason Show socials. We'll be right back. Back in a moment. Thank you much. Oh, what a pleasure, man. I really appreciate it. It's funny. I'm glad you don't. Our audience coordinator, Aaron Schwab, fell to the ground hoping Nurse Mikael would help her. But this is no joke. This is no joke. Aaron laid on the ground to get Nurse Mikael to help her. He walked right out of the studio. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm sorry. He would have, I'm sorry. He probably didn't see you. I know. I know. No one else is helping you up.
Here comes Thomas. Here comes
Somebody
Thomas.
help her up. Yeah.
I've done more desperate things than that for a male's attention, so I get it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Everyone has weird facts or secrets about themselves, especially celebrities, and sometimes they let those secrets slip. It's time for a game we're calling Celebrity Confessions, everybody. That's right.
Look at that.
That's right. I'm going to read a prompt about a celebrity, and Fallon and I, and we haven't seen these answers ahead of time, have to guess which celebrity is it about. Fallon, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Which celebrity confirmed he really does have 4 nipples?
I know the answer.
Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles, or Timothée Chalamet?
Mr. Harry Styles.
He does have 4 nipples?
He has 4 nipples, yeah.
Well, that stopped the show, yeah.
He does. It's okay.
Does he show where?
Yeah, I think most, when you have, it's just, 2-2.
I set you up perfectly. I just wanted to see you do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, ready, Fallon?
Okay, yeah.
Here's your next one. Who revealed that she peed on herself at the Kennedy Center Honors? Rita Morano, Cher, or the great Carol Burnett? I honestly do not know.
I might guess Carol Burnett. I don't think it's Cher. I don't think she would admit that.
I think it's Rita Morano.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see. Leo? Rita!
Yeah, there
we go. Yes.
Nice.
Now, I don't know if we should be clapping for that, but whatever.
It happens.
Okay. Next, as a child, this actor was convinced he was an alien. Who was it? Jeff Goldblum, Christopher Walken, or Nicolas Cage, or all of the above?
No kidding. I'm going to go Jeff Goldblum because it feels like a funny story he would share.
Audience? Cage?
Okay.
Cage! The audience is right. Yes.
He did build a pyramid that he wants to be buried in on his property, right?
Yeah.
So that tracks.
That tracks,
yeah.
yes. Next. When this singer was 15, she discovered she had 3 older half-siblings when one of them showed up at her door. Who was it? Shakira, Rihanna, or Camila Cabello?
I would say it has to be Rihanna or Shakira.
I'm with you. I'm gonna say Rihanna.
Okay.
Leo?
Yep.
Rihanna. Yes. I thought I remember hearing that story.
I don't remember. That's so surprising. I mean, that happens to people every day. They don't necessarily show up on their door, but they get like an email from them, like, because they join the different like ancestry.com, and they're like, oh, turns out I'm your long lost sibling. You're like, what?
Well, I told you like a month ago, I was always afraid that I would have a knock on the door and it would be like a kid of mine. You know what I mean? I did date women for a while, Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that is not a fear
Daddy?
for me.
Yeah,
not a fear
anyway.
for me. I would know.
Are you my papa? Yeah, anyway. Oof. Anyway.
They stayed in Indiana, I see.
That's right,
Are you my papa?
Jana Kramer says asparagus pea may have led to a breakup with which actor? Sebastian Stan, Zac Efron, or Chris Evans?
I have no idea who
I don't know, but that's
dated.
one of the weirdest sentences I've ever read on television. I really do think.
You know what's bizarre, too? Some people don't have that. Not everyone has that, where their urine smells after eating asparagus. Mine does. Mine does. Immediately. I could take a bite of asparagus and pee immediately and it wouldn't smell like it. I don't know how to explain it. It goes right through your body.
Can we check? Are we still on the air? We are, okay.
It's a real thing, but not everyone has that.
I'm going to say Zac Efron. Leo? Chris Evans.
Okay.
Okay.
He does seem like he would be snobby about that. Like she can help it. Like she can help it.
He can't help it.
No.
One more. As a child, this actress used to perform autopsies on dead animals like lizards in her backyard. Jenna Ortega, Aubrey Plaza, or Jennifer Lawrence?
What a perfect trio of it could be any of those
It could be any of them. I'm going to say Lawrence.
Yeah, she grew up in Kentucky. That feels like a Kentucky thing.
Yeah. Leo?
Oh, Jenna
Ortega.
Oh.
It seems fitting too, yeah. She's Wednesday Addams.
It's
I'm just saying. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody.
That's terrifying, though.
All of those are terrifying. Every single one of them. You love me, don't you?
I do.
I love you too.
Yeah. Crazy.
See, if you come here at the show, you hear things you never hear on television. I'm just going to say that, right, Fallon?
But also things you probably don't want to hear, to be fair.
That's true,
so
yeah.
It's a give and take, yeah.
Welcome back. It's one of the most popular new shows of the winter season. Doc is a new medical drama set here, actually in Minneapolis, about a doctor who loses her memory in a car accident and tries to resume her career and build a new life. Can you imagine? Listen, it's a hit. More than 15 million viewers have watched it since it started this month. We're excited. We're telling you this because one of the stars of the show, Scott Wolf, hello, Party of Five, is joining us in studio next week. He will be a guest for the hour on Monday, February 3rd. Yeah. So come on, get tickets if you want to meet him. We'll talk about the new show, Party of Five, and more. We'll be right back. Eventbrite.com for those tickets. Don't forget, you can listen to Fallon's radio show. Search for Fallon and Colt on the iHeart radio app.
Ooh, thanks.
You're welcome. I mean, you can listen to my radio show, too. Jason and Alexis in the morning, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anyway. Anything exciting on the show this week?
Let me think.
You're now in a new city. Remind folks, you're in Salt Lake City.
We're in Salt Lake City now. They syndicated our show. So we have they take our show and they condense it and plop it in nights in Salt Lake City.
I'm so proud of you. So
Thank you.
If you're watching us in Utah, if you're watching us, listen to her. Tomorrow on the show, she's a go-to expert on dogs. I love this woman.
Yes.
You do too. Katie Canine is back, and I'm going to bring my puppy in. Tomorrow, one of them will be here. Little Elliot or Winston Churchill, whatever you want to call him. That's going to do it for us. If you're watching and you're a kid that's being bullied, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope he doesn't pee on the couch. Not you.